Hey, it's Gail from Seattle Coffee Gear, and as you know, we do a lot of videos that are public, open to the public on YouTube. We decided that you guys that are purchasing your machines from us, whatever the machine might be, and today it's the Oracle, we're gonna do a video showing you how to get it up and running and what the features are so that you're not stumbling so much. It's gotta help you out, and only you're gonna get it because you purchased from Seattle Coffee Gear. So stay tuned, we're gonna get this out of the box and walk you through the menu and all the features that it has. So come back and see me in a minute. Okay, so we got the Oracle out of the box, and there's all kinds of stuff in here that comes with the box. But what I'm going to do first is I am going to fill the water tank and get this going. There are these little gummy stickers on here. Make sure you take those off. It looks like it's on, but it's not. See? Gone. Gone. Do all that. Fill your water right here, and you'll be able to see it back here. And then we also did, it comes with a test strip for the water. We tested our water. Our water is really pretty pure here. So we are, when I turn this on, it's gonna go right to the hardness menu and it's gonna have me set it. Ours, we're gonna set it number 1 because our water is very easy going here. And what that does is that tells the machine how often it should prompt you to descale it. That's an important step. So let's get this going. Hardness 3, ours is hardness 1. There we go. Now it's auto-filling. You're gonna hear this run for a while, and what it's doing is the boiler is empty of water. It's taking the water from the water tank and filling the boiler. While it's doing that, and it's gonna be heating too, and I didn't mess with the settings in this. I want to see what the factory settings are for temperature, the grind, and I want to get in the menu and I want to see what they did for temp pressure, temp time, all that kind of stuff. I want to see what that is. Meanwhile, this is what comes in the box. Obviously a portafilter, and it's only going to come with 1 basket, and it's a double, because this is preset at the factory for how much ground coffee goes down in here. So you can't really alter that. Comes with a frothing pitcher, comes with a Go mug, double wall stainless Go mug, which is kind of nice, with a rubber lid, silicone lid. Comes with milk frothing cleaner, that's for the steam tip on your steam arm. Comes with a spare tip and gaskets as well for the steam arm. Cleaning tablets for your back flushing, and this is the disc for doing the cleaning. Comes with a brush for getting up in here and cleaning out the chute where the ground coffee comes down. Comes with this magnet on the end. And that allows you to take out this, should just pop right out there. This is what actually does the tamping up in there and swirls it around, polishes it. That's what that is. You can take that out and then you can use this brush to clean. Let me get this back on. There we go. This is a brush to clean in the grinder at the top. This is a little needle device that if the hole in here, in this, let me show you on here, on the cap here, on the end of the steam arm, there are 4 holes. That clears that out if it gets gummed up. And this is for taking brew head apart and stuff like that. And bonus, comes with a knockbox. So all of that's in the box and the manual. This is one of the better manuals out there. This is really good. It's got a lot of information in it. So I'm going to give you just the basics getting going. But if you have any more in-depth questions, there is an advanced menu that we're not going to get into because most of the stuff right from the factory is good to go. So let's wait and get this warmed up and come back and join me in a minute. Okay, so we're just coming up to the end of this heating up, and I want to go over the buttons and what they do and what the functionality of this is. Let's start up here with the grinder. This grinder, as you probably are already aware, you can lock and unlock it so that you can take it out. When you take this out, the machine knows it. It will not function with it out. Put it back in, and you'll be good to go. Right here is where you fill the water tank, as you saw me do earlier. Down here, because there's a light on, you can see the level when it gets down here, when it starts to get low. This knob over here adjusts the coarseness or the fineness of the grind. I'm going to leave it at the factory setting, which was 30. This is your power on, power off. This is your single dosing button, which is preset at the factory for 20 seconds. This is your double, excuse me, which is preset at the factory for 30 seconds. Hot water dispenser, which is right back over here if you want hot water. And then the Americano. If you get into the Americano, you can actually, stop. You'll see small, medium, and large. Those are preset from the factory. 6, 8, and 12, I think it was. Then if you want to have something other than that, there are 6 more settings that you can get in there and program it for the amount of water for you. 6 people, or 6 different settings, customize, and that's in the advanced menu. We're not going to get into that today because that we just want to get the basics going for you, and then you can get into the advanced stuff down the road if you choose to. Right over here is the temperature that you can alter for how hot your milk is. You see the little smiley face? Breville's thoughts are that anything from 150 down to 140 is a good temperature. Actually, they take it down to 139 or so, even further. This goes all the way down to 110, and it goes all the way up to 170. I like it to be somewhere in the 150 range myself. I think that's not bad, but you get to choose what you want. Then you push this button. Now you'll see this arrow over here. Cappuccino at the top, latte at the bottom. What that tells you, what that is you're going to have less on the latte end as far as foam goes, and more if you go up to cappuccino. So you can have anything in between. I'm going to just take the middle of the road right now. This is your steam arm right here, the steam button or knob. This is the arm down here. If you push this down, it automatically does what you've asked it to do right here. It'll bring it up to 149 degrees, and it'll inject the amount of air, making the correct foam that you've asked for. Or if you're the manual kind of a person, just push it up and it's just going to go until you shut it off. The other thing that they like you to do, and they recommend this in the manual when you first get it, they want you to do a bit of a flush. So they want you to run the double shot, let it go through its process of the 30 seconds. And if you noted, this machine has pre-infusion, wait time, and then brew time. You can actually get into the programming and change your pre-infusion time as well by holding the button. Ooh, steamy. So this is going to run up to 30 seconds, and it's going to automatically stop. That's beneficial for us. We don't need a timer on this machine. When we start dialing into the grind, it's going to have the time for us. The other thing it wants you to do is to hot water. Run the hot water for about 30 seconds to flush it. And the last thing, I'm just guessing that's around 30 seconds. The last thing, they want you to use the manual steamer also and let that run to, just purge anything that might be in there from the manufacturing. Okay, so now that I've done that, I need to empty that drip tray. I'm going to take this out and show you. This drip tray, it's getting full. It's not quite full because if it was, this would float up. That's a nice feature. So let me dump this. Be right back. So I just dumped that tray, and you got to do that every now and again and wash it. But before I put it back in, I want to show you a couple of things. All those goodies that came, this is a little tray they give you. It just slides back in there, and you can store all your stuff right there. You won't lose it in your junk drawer. The other thing is you want to get at the back of the tank every now and again. And right now, this is pretty well glued to the countertop. This is a device that Breville has that is, did you see the machine go up? Watch. And what that does is it has a roller bearing now underneath there. It allows you to roll this machine around with ease so that you can get at the water tank, which is right here. So the other thing that's in here that we didn't, the charcoal water filter came from the factory. We soaked it, like they said, and we put it in there. Every now and again, you're gonna have to change that as well. But here's the tank so that you can wash it every now and again. Sudsy water, don't put it in the dishwasher, it's not good for it. And then swing this around. Again, put this down. If you try to put this tray in with that up, it hits it. It's not good. It's not gonna work right. Take this down, then that goes in the way it's supposed to. So now I want to dial this coffee in. We have some coffee up in here, and we're going to use the factory setting and just see what it does. We don't want to alter anything just yet. You don't want to make too many changes all at once. Let's try this, see what it does, see what the outcome is. I don't need to use a timer because this is already set for 30 seconds, and that's what we're kind of aiming for. Let's see what it does. We're aiming for about 2 ounces in 30 seconds. If that doesn't happen, we'll see what the outcome is, and then I'll tell you how to remedy if it's not right. "20 seconds, and we've only got an ounce. I think we're going to be running a little on the short side. Yeah, we got 1.5 ounces, so we're a little bit off our mark. And taste it. See what it tastes like. Sour. It's not good. It's not good at all. So when your shots come out 30 seconds and you don't get the volume, the 2 ounces, that means your coffee is ground too fine. The finer it's ground, the more the water has a hard time going through it, hence a slower shot. If it was coming out and we got 2.5 ounces instead, that means that it's too coarse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it up on the coarse side. I'm going to take it up to 32 and try that. You've made a change in the grind, so what you want to do is you want to grind some out and sacrifice it, throw it away, because if you don't, the old grind and the new grind are mixed together and you're not getting a true test of this setting. The other thing that will change the settings, you have a bag of coffee and it's starting to get like 12 days old, 14 days old, it's starting to get staler. You might have to adjust the grind settings a little bit finer to accommodate for that as your coffee gets older. Okay, so I ground out some extra, like I said. We're gonna dump it, then we're gonna do it again and test it and see what it does. You are going to go through coffee doing this. There's no way around it. Also, what I suggest doing is get some coffee that's similar to the stuff that you really like and dial this grinder in if you have to dial it in, and then you'll be so much closer. If you get a coffee that is similar to the darkness of whatever you like to drink, medium, dark, roast, whatever it is, if you get some cheaper beans that are roasted at that same level, dial it in, and then when you go to the good stuff, you don't want to waste it, take it, and now you might make a tweak or two, but not as much. In the beginning, sometimes it takes a couple of pounds of coffee. That's just the nature of the beast. We don't want you to get frustrated, you know, by having bad experience. This is why we're doing these videos. We want you to have a good experience. You can see that's coming out faster. I might have even taken it too far. You can see that it makes a difference. Yep, went in the wrong direction. I mean, I went too far. Ooh, you can stop now. So you can see I got an extra, well, I got an extra ½ ounce. So this won't probably taste good either. Ew. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to take this down, and there's in between notches. I'm going to take it right down to 31. Burn some off. I don't care about it finishing its tamp. I just want to get rid of that. The other thing that you want to bear in mind, I'll wait for that to stop. Grinders are two burrs, burr grinders. They're two pieces of metal. After time, after about 30 days or so, you might have to tweak it again. The burrs seat themselves and they get accustomed to one another and they kind of find their spot. So you might make some changes after 30 days or so too. Nothing's cast in stone. The numbers I'm coming up with may not be the numbers that you end up with. Your coffee might not be the same. A little better. See what we come up with here. I think that's going to be pretty good. So you can see what this is dialing in. This is what it's all about. You're going to sacrifice coffee. You're going to take a little bit of time. And look at, there we got it. 30 seconds, 2 ounces. Let's see what it tastes like. The taste is really, if you're going 40 seconds or whatever it is and it tastes good to you, that's what really counts. This is all about it just being the right coffee for you. Pretty good. That's good. So now what I want to do, we got that dialed in. Now I would like to, let me go into this menu first, because let's say, you know, you want to tweak things just a little bit more. You can change the shot volume. Factory is 20 and 30. You can change that. You can change the temperature of the boiler. The cleaning cycle, that's in your menu. You're going to figure that one out. The clock setting, let's get into that. Let's set the clock, okay? Clock is set. Let's go back into the menu. Auto start is on, and it's set for 8 o'clock. I can get in there and I can change that as well. 8 o'clock works for me though. And then auto off, 1 o'clock. Let's get in there and change that to 4, okay? So that's one of the nice features of this machine. I just wanted to run through that very rapidly. You can also get in here and you can set the tamp. It's set for the force, number 5. That's how hard it hits it. And it's going to hit it for 4 seconds. You can also change the pre-infusion. This is what it's set for from the factory. I say, if everything's working good for you, don't mess with those. Not if, I mean, if you have to, they're there. But if you don't mess with the good thing. So I'm going to get some milk, come back, we're going to make a drink. I'm going to show you just how this works. And then the rest is up to you. This is going to be a great machine. It does so much. So let's get some milk. So now we've dialed it in. I'm going to make a drink. This is the simple side, the foam and the temperature and all that, because you have all of this that you can do yourself and set it for what you want. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the temperature down. When you, wrong way. When you do latte art, the temperature is less. I'm going to take it down to 145, and I'm going to take it down to the lower end, less foam. And I want to see what happens. See if we get a little something out of it. And in case I didn't mention it before, and you don't know this, hold on. You can brew and steam at the same time with this because it's a double boiler. That's where I was going. I always start talking when it's making noise. This is what I like to do. I like to get this going when it gets up to about 130 or so. Then I hit this button and both are done at the same time. Doesn't get any easier, really. Itchy finger. Should have let the itchy finger go a little longer, faster. So I didn't get a lot of foam. If I had had that up on the other end, it would have foamed right up to the top because I've played around with this. I know what it'll do. Wipe this off really well. You don't want any of that gunge on there, the milk. And then it auto purges. That's perfect. I have a little bit of foam here. I think it's a little undernourished as far as foam goes. And what I'm going to do, well, I don't know. We'll see. Look at that. Okay, a crooked heart, or a tulip, or whatever you want to call it. But you can see that the foam was latte art quality foam if you want to crank it back. If you take it up here, you're going to get a lot of foam, more for cappuccino. So this is the basics on getting you going. You want to have a good experience with this. You don't want to be frustrated. So this is the basics. Don't change a lot of things from the factory settings. Make baby moves. This was a baby move right here. That was really nothing. As you get more curious and get down the road, you can get into all these others and you can change the temperature of the boiler. Take that same shot, the same shot length, take the boiler up a couple of degrees, down a couple of degrees, see what the shots taste like. It's all, this is going to play into the simple side of you if you want to just go up and do it, or it's going to play into the curiosity side of you as well, if that's what you want to do. Get in the menu and play around. So that's the basics. Always, if you have any questions, give us a call because you purchase from us and we're here to support your purchase. And we really appreciate you as one of our customers.